Okay, it's Sunday, guys. Welcome to another episode of We Got Your Vote, the show where we take all of the tallies of, that's the word for it, we tally all your responses to my crazy questions during the week, and we judge you a little bit based on your answers because yes, they are being graded. There are wrong answers, but no, I'm just joking. Thank you guys once again for joining us, and also thank you to the community for always being involved and making it interesting. Just when I think that I got it figured out on which direction you guys are gonna go, you guys always surprise me. I'm joined by the one, the only, the outstandingly, amazingly, fantastically awesome Amy Newman.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for having me.
Were you wondering where I was going to go with that?
It was a ride. It was a roller coaster.
Are you ready to do these We Got Your Votes with me today?
Yeah. I hounded some Monster Energy drink. Sweet. And did some push-ups, did some CrossFit. I'm feeling hyped.
All right, let's hype it out. Okay, do we have them queued up? We got the first one.
We do. Shall I take it away? This one's near and dear to my heart.
Take it away.
Well, tis the season, and we asked, what's your favorite version of A Christmas Carol? 36% said Scrooge. 23% said The Muppet Christmas Carol. 20% said 2010's Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey. And 20% said 1954's A Christmas Carol with Frederick March as Scrooge. I have a lot of thoughts about A Christmas Carol. A lot of thoughts.
What's your beef against The Christmas Carol?
What?
You said you have a
lot. I have no beef. No, I'm so sorry. Did that come across like I don't? No, I read A Christmas Carol almost every year. It is my favorite book.
You read the book? I don't have the I can't read a book where I know the ending.
I actually recommend it though. It's like a pretty tight, like 90 pages or so, like maybe a little over 100 pages. It's really, really beautiful. They go
really deep into the whole like the psychology, the fear, and they really like emphasize.
I mean, it's
the
Dickens,
horror
so
element.
he was getting paid by the word. But it is, I would say it's like kind of the least wordy of the Dickens I am familiar with. Mm-hmm. And it's just really lovely. Like a lot of the way he describes sort of London at Christmas and like Christmas dinners. And there's just like a really beautiful heart to it that I really genuinely love.
He really sends you there.
Mm-hmm. And on that front, I will say we asked favorite, not best, so I can't be like wrong. And I say this truly from the bottom of my heart as like a diehard fan of the book. Mm-hmm. I think The Muppet Christmas Carol nails the spirit of that book in a really, really awesome way.
With the talking rats and the.
Well, here's the thing. Dickens was funny. Like, no, I'm serious. Like, the book literally starts with, like jokes. Like, it's like, oh, Marley was dead as a doornail. I don't know why a doornail's the deadest piece of ironmongery in the trade. I think it'd be a coffin nail.
That
like,
joke,
it's funny.
That joke killed in the 19th century.
But, like, it's silly. It's funny. There's, like, a genuine, like, levity and you know, a heart and a kindness and a little bit of like a good naturedness that I think Muppets really, really captures. Also, the music in that is great.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, unironically, just like you could just put that on if you just staged a production of A Christmas Carol with those songs, if that movie didn't exist, it would just work. They're just good songs.
My favorite is Scrooge with Bill Murray.
Scrooge is a lot of fun. Honestly, I have some beef with the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol, but like it does some things really interesting.
Was it too Grinchy?
It was too like there's too much of the like we have 3D and this like like too like there's like feels like a 10-minute chase scene randomly in the third act just because.
I think I only saw it once. I can't even remember it. But
if you're not a hardcore fan, now I will say, you know what Christmas Carol I genuinely don't like was the edgy one that was on FX last year. I should make a whole video just talking about why that needs to just
go away,
be deleted from my, like, I want my like 4 hours back.
There is so many versions of this, and I wonder if A Christmas Carol is the most. I want to have to look it up. What movie or an adaptation has been done the most?
It's got to be up there.
It's got to be. If it's not number one, it's up there, because when I went on Wikipedia, there was so many.
I will say also, if you are Christmas Caroled out, but sort of like that vibe, I think it's on maybe Amazon or Hulu. Mm-hmm. The Man Who Invented Christmas, which is like the story of Dickens writing A Christmas Carol, mm-hmm. which is based on a book, mm-hmm. and then like they sort of fictionalize it from the book, which was like a pretty straightforward nonfiction, and then like Scrooge comes in as a character. It's very good. I recommend it.
Okay. Any explosions? No. Okay.
No explosion. No, you got to go to the Jim Carrey one for that.
So Scott B says that the 1984 George C. Scott version or the 1999 with Patrick Stewart is his favorite. Mm-hmm. Andy Yu says the 1951 British version starring Alistair Sim.
I feel like that one gets thrown out a lot as one of the best.
It was titled Scrooge in the UK. I also prefer the black and white copy of the colorized one. And he spelled color with a U. Awesome, Andy.
Ooh,
fancy. Very fancy. RDG Texas says Albert Finney musical version. And mm-hmm. Clutch Pedal Returns Spring says Mr. Magoo's. And I was like, how did I forget that one? That was the best one, cartoon version when I was growing up.
I feel like my family just at random sometimes will be like, with raspberry dressing.
Was that one of the songs?
Yes, that's all I remember from it.
And finally, Jacob Meadows says these results are shameful. So, but he doesn't clarify why. But that's wanted to throw that one in there. That was your votes and your thoughts on the Christmas Carol. So let me move us along to the next one. So next up on our We Got Your Vote list, and this is sorry guys, this was from last week and combined for this week as well because of all the moving around and whatnot. So I'm catching up with you guys' votes. So the next one is, what's a good name of a Christmas movie that sums up 2020 the most in the media for you? Out of 137 votes. Quarantine Christmas got 62%. Cancel Culture Christmas got 26%. And A Caring Christmas, which was my favorite, got only a mere 12%. I was like, oh man.
But I feel like Quarantine will actually define my Christmas most directly.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like, not that like Karens haven't been a big feature this year, but like
Karens are walking around like zombies, man. They're taking over the world.
I'm just gonna be at home. Like, I'm chilling at home on Christmas. I'm sure if you have to like work in a restaurant or something or retail right now, like, God bless your sweetheart. I am so sorry. Karen Christmas probably feels more on the nose. Mm-hmm. I am lucky enough to work from home, so for me it is very much a quarantined Christmas.
And let's see, James Malott, one of our members, says, imagine a Love Actually style movie, but all the characters are stuck at home alone and thinking about their families. I never saw Love Actually.
What?
I knew I felt like, because I felt like I was about to get that response. I don't know. That's why I said it the way I said it. Never saw Love. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I can't
honestly,
remember.
I will say Love Actually. You're getting all my hot takes on Christmas movies today. Love Actually is my favorite movie that every time I watch it, I don't actually like that much.
Wait, say that again. You blew
my
mind.
I love it. Like, I watched it. I was like, this movie's amazing.
Okay.
It's my new favorite Christmas movie.
Okay.
Every year I watch it, I'm like, is this actually not that good? There's a lot to unpack in that movie.
It gets worse and worse every time you watch it.
But I will still watch it every year, and at the end of the day, I will always cry at the end, and I will always love it. And also, there's a scene of Emma Thompson just crying quietly alone to a Joni Mitchell song that is just so good.
It's kind of how I feel about the movie Love Stinks with French Stewart, but that's me. Avalanche says Karen gets canceled by the quarantine quarantined wood chipper elves in a meet me in the very back country Montana Christmas.
Wow.
They concede that Karen's a dinner quest, and then they go. Then he comments on his own comment and says, "No more vodka, Coke after graveyard shift." I guess that was a drunk comment.
I will say, I feel like it should be like a cancel culture holiday, because isn't there a war on Christmas?
Christmas, yeah,
something?
every year there's a war on Christmas. Like, they're not trying to take your Christmas away, people. Relax.
I could not care less.
What's the next one?
We asked, should the Toxic Avenger reboot be a part of the MCU? 76% said no, 24% said yes.
I agree. Do you remember the Toxic Avenger?
I'm like roughly aware of it.
It was an 80s thing, and those movies were so bad, and I
loved
them.
My time.
Oh my God, those movies were so bad, but they were so good. I can only remember watching it as a kid, and only catching it like if it was on cable. Oh man, remember cable? But those movies were so bad.
People still exist.
I think there was a cartoon of the Toxic Avenger. The Toxic Avenger, he was a nerd who fell into a batch of chemicals, mutated into a big superhero. But it was like off the wall, like really adult comedy stuff. If I remember correctly, I think those movies were rated R. So I heard that there was a reboot of the Toxic Avenger, and I knew Marvel made those movies. So I was like, is he gonna be a part of the MCU? And I was like, and you guys are like with me, like, no, we should not.
At least not officially. I feel like it could be one of those little like asterisks, like, oh.
Maybe soft mention. All right, what's next?
We asked, who should Abby end up with at the end of Hulu's happiest season? 58% of you said Harper and 42% of you said Riley.
It was
close. We need to have a talk. We need to have a talk.
Amy, okay. Guys, if you don't know, this is a hot button topic for this channel because we were unanimous. Eric, myself, Joy, and Amy. It was as if we just telepathically linked up and was like, screw Harper. I mean, like, what the H was that all about?
This is firmly a Harper is trash zone. Please don't come at me with anything.
I still want to do that video.
Love and support.
I still want to do that video. I feel like we need to have a deep dive. I know. I think I have.
I might have to watch the movie again. I was like,
yes,
pretty sleepy.
We need to do. Let's all go to our corners. Watch this movie again. Come back.
Yep.
And I think I have a segment on here called something like the ending debunked. We need to make an ending debunked on this movie because
I'm into it. Because we need to talk about how you all need to like love yourself more. No, I'm serious. Are 58% of you settling for the Harper because y'all deserve a Riley? Get yourself she's a doctor. She's Aubrey Plaza.
I mean, no, don't get me wrong. What's her name? Who played Harper?
Mackenzie.
I don't know much about her career, but when I saw that she was playing in that Terminator movie, I haven't seen. I still gotta watch that. It was just something about her look. I guess I was like there's just something interesting about her. Like every movie that I've seen her in since then, I saw
Mackenzie Davis.
Mackenzie Davis. The first movie I think I saw of her was The Turning, and only because I was so excited about her in the Terminator movie, which I haven't even watched yet. But every other thing that I see her in, she's like a chameleon to me. I don't recognize her. I have to when I see her name, I'm like, that's the same girl. She disappears. And I love her for that. I mean, I feel like she's going to be one of these actors that's just like every character that she does. And that's probably why I hate Harper so much, is because she really gave a great performance. And I just like her style. But I hated that character so much. And if that's what they were going for, they did a great job. But I was so excited about seeing Happiest Season. And
I'm so sorry to admit I was Googling when you were talking. She's in the Black Mirror San Junipero episode.
I've never watched Black Mirror. I need to start watching that.
Chris, we need to have a talk.
Well, now that Mackenzie Davis is in there, I'm gonna definitely watch it now.
At least watch that episode because it's very good.
I am. That is on my list to catch up to. That's one of the shows I got to catch up to.
And
58% of you guys just enchanted with the whole "this needs to wrap up the way typical Christmas love stories need to" thing? Because
by that logic, how was the scene where they went to the drag bar together and she had her sing? How was that not their they're meant to be together moment? I'm so bitter.
Eric, when I watched you guys' review on it, Eric, he was so pitch perfect on what he was on everything he said about Riley. When he said, I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, it would have been gutsy for them to go against the grain of a typical, how we wrap these things. I mean, it would have been messy, it would have been complicated, but it would have been realistic. Right. It would have been right. Riley, I guess Aubrey. Yeah, I love Aubrey though. So.
Yeah, she's great.
I love Mackenzie, but I love me some Aubrey. Was there? I forgot to while you were Googling, what I should have been doing was checking out if there was any little comments on it. I don't think there wasn't.
Phone keeping on.
There was not. Let's see. Let me move on to the next one real quick. Let's see. I wrote down for what we know about the upcoming Sony Marvel deal. With the current Sony Marvel deal with the distribution rights of Spider-Man films. Does the cutbacks of movie theaters with everything going to streaming mean that eventually Sony will lose the rights to Spider-Man? Out of 128 votes, we got 61% of you saying yes, the deal requires the film to be released worldwide in theaters, and 39% of you said no, as long as they produce a film, they're within compliance. And the only reason why I stated that question the way I did was because I really didn't know. I tried to look up online if there was any layout to that. I know they're not going to throw the whole contract out there online, but I needed some details of how that deal between Sony and Marvel works.
I can't imagine they're going to lose it over a technicality. I think technicality. I think I'm going to assume that enough areas have some semblance of theaters open, and B, we are slowly chugging along towards normal fast. With vaccine releases, it's starting to look like normal is slowly coming up on the horizon, and it's such a technicality. It's been such a GG weird year. I cannot imagine they're gonna lose it over that.
Sony will never give up, not easily. We'll never give up Spider-Man. There was a chance that they were going to lose Spider-Man, and the only reason why they hurried up and rebooted the character during the weird times that they did was because they couldn't get anything going with what they were currently doing. It was like, okay, we can't figure out how to do Spider-Man 4. Let's just reboot the damn thing. Get Andrew Garfield in. All right, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 wasn't that great. We have a little thing we can do with Marvel, but they don't want Andrew Garfield. We're not going to lose this opportunity. Go ahead, let them reboot it again. They're quick to reboot it. If they feel like they're going to run out of time, they'll reboot that sucker so fast to keep those rights. But I agree with the minority on this. I think that it's as long as they're in production. And you're right. I think that because there are movie producers who will only release their movies in limited theaters because they want to technically make it qualify for the Oscars. So it probably doesn't matter in this agreement whether or not it's released worldwide, as long as they're in production within. I think somebody wrote, if I'm not mistaken, in the comments. I think Jeff won. He said, I don't think that the exact contract stipulates that they have ever been made public. The stipulations have ever been made public, but my understanding has been that as long as Sony puts out a Spider-Man movie at least every 5 years, or probably, well, I know it's not put out the movie. I remember hearing that the agreement is with they have to be in production of it within a certain amount of years. I don't know if it's 5 years, but because I know the gap between the last Tobey Maguire movie and the first Andrew Garfield movie was just 3 years. I think they have to be in production within less than that, but 5 years, that's a long time. But I think it's about production. I don't think it's about how many theaters that it has to be. That would be an interesting thing. If there's a clause in there that says you better be in at least 3,000 theaters, otherwise we get Spider-Man back. That would be a nail biter, because as things go to streaming, and there's going to be fewer theaters out there. What does that mean? Does that mean domestic? Does that mean worldwide? Who knows? But eventually, as things go to streaming, maybe 50 years from now, maybe there won't be enough theaters for Sony to keep up, and Sony's like, "Here, take it. I don't care. Just take it back." But let us know what you guys think about that, and just keep commenting on that thing, because we probably won't talk about it again. What's next?
We asked on The Mandalorian, which live adaptation reunion would you rather see with Ahsoka Tano? Did I say that right? Did I say that right, Chris?
What, Ahsoka Tano?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh no. If you would have misspelled that, I would have. You would have felt the rage. No,
I would have been booted from the Zoom call.
Yeah, exactly. And we lost Amy, my favorite character.
45% said Mace Windu, 32% said Ezra Bridger, and 24% said Captain Rex.
That's right. Yes, right. You're not caught up with the whole Mandalorian thing or this stuff. So, Ahsoka Tano, played by Rosario Dawson.
Just talk about these. I'll Google it. I'll Google it while you talk. Go nuts.
So, the Ahsoka Tano character, as you real Star Wars fans knows, was the cartoon version of her. Met Samuel L. Jackson's character in the cartoon version on Star Wars. What was that cartoon called? The Clone Wars. Also met another new Jedi on the cartoon called Star Wars Rebels, a character named Ezra Bridger. There was and there was also a Captain Rex who was a soldier that was also featured in those cartoons as well. So the reason why I worded it like this is because there's this whole thing of well, spoiler alert. I don't know if you said you're watching. Are you catching up to these or not? Not enough to.
I feel like I got all I needed at the Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
I am catching up on like actual Star Wars, like not the Mandalorian, but like the
movie. The movies. So yeah. Baby Yoda is reaching out with the Force to be trained by a Jedi. Rosario Dawson, who played Ahsoka, was like, "I'm not gonna do it." So you need to let him reach out to somebody else. And everybody's wondering who's the person that they're going to that's gonna be the person that Baby Yoda reaches out to. It could be Luke Skywalker, because he's technically alive during this time. It could be Ezra Bridger, because that character is technically. It's just all these people who are technically alive at this time. And Mace Windu, Samuel L. Jackson's character, is in this conversation, even though there's like here in the comments section there's people saying Falcon Folk says Mace Windu is dead, homie. Look, homie, you didn't see him die, okay? All right, you saw him get shot out of a window. That don't mean nothing. Did you see him hit the ground? You didn't see. The Emperor got thrown into a damn little, like, I don't know how tall, little big old hole an explosion came out of, and you still saw him on the last Star Wars movie. So this whole he got thrown out of a window thing doesn't mean a damn thing. You didn't see his body fall or hit the ground. You didn't see a funeral. Samuel L. Jackson could come back. And then Brandon Miller also said that. Isn't Mace Windu dead? WTF. You saw him get chucked out of a window. You didn't see him.
You're getting nerd sweaty, Chris. I'm going to have to cut you there. You didn't see him.
I'm sorry. I'm going to dial it back. But I wanted to know, since we got Rosario Dawson for the first time playing Ahsoka Tano, that was the first time that character had a live adaptation, because she was a cartoon version. That's how she was debuted. So I was like, okay, so she has been featured in at least two different Star Wars cartoons, and what I wanted to know what reunion. This means that there could be a reunion between that character and Mace Windu, Ezra Bridger, Captain Rex in live adaptation form. I just thought it was exciting. And 45% of you also agree. I would be more excited about Mace Windu, because I want to see Rosario Dawson and Samuel L. Jackson catching up with. I just want to see a pissed off Samuel L. Jackson mad about the fact that he got his hand cut off and got chunked out of a window. So I don't understand why most of you guys are so upset about, isn't he dead? Wouldn't you want to see a pissed off Samuel L. Jackson who got his hand cut off and chucked out of a window come back? I mean, obviously you guys do. You guys are smart, and I appreciate you guys voting the right way. I told you there would be grades, and you passed. 45% of you are right. The answer is Mace Windu, Samuel L. Jackson. I'll end I'm sorry, I had to geek out for a second. I apologize. Was that the last one, or we have one more?
I believe we have one more. We asked if and only if Tobey Maguire does return as Spider-Man in the next film with Tom Holland, should his Peter Parker also be a doppelganger for the current Uncle Ben and deliver the message to Holland, with great power comes great responsibility? Remember that. 76% said yes, it's a clever way to deliver the message, and 24% said no, it'd be weird, get another actor.
How do you feel about the whole? You saw the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, didn't you?
I believe I did. I was youngish at the time, but I know I saw at least a couple of them.
So here's the theory. In Tom Holland's Spider-Man, Marissa Tomei's Aunt May, we've never even seen a picture of Uncle Ben. So we've never gotten the whole with great power comes great responsibility. One day I heard somebody say something like, wouldn't it be cool if Tobey Maguire was Uncle Ben? I mean, because everybody was hoping that he could be cast in, and that would be a cool thing for him, like a full circle of life kind of a thing. But now, now that Sony has been confirming that they're bringing back all these characters, they're bringing back Jamie Foxx from an Andrew Garfield version. They're bringing back Dr. Octopus from Tobey Maguire's version. So now I'm more than convinced now that you're not going to waste time bringing back these people for no reason unless we're going to have a whole bunch of Spider-Man running around. Mm-hmm. And I just thought it would be cool that the reason why they're building up to this, and the reason why we've never seen Uncle Ben in this version of Spider-Man, is because I believe Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man will look identical.
If you like what you saw, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and please drop a like on this video. It really does help us. Also, don't forget you can turn on notifications so you don't miss a single review, react, why is that trending, or we got your mail.
But you're killing the movie magic. We're recording this on Wednesday, but we're airing it.
I'm so dumb. I'm sorry. I'm like, it is Wednesday, Chris.
It is Wednesday. Movie magic. But on Wednesday, a couple days ago, I did a live video about this whole subject, and I said I just felt like it would be cool for me, at least, to have Peter Parker from another dimension who looks like, Tom Holland's uncle, to deliver that message that he obviously has never got, that famous phrase, with great power comes great responsibility. I just imagine, because if Tom Holland is looking at Tobey Maguire, and maybe Marissa Tomei's in the background looking over the shoulder, he's not going to see a Spider-Man from another dimension. He's going to see his uncle. And in his mind, this is his uncle talking to him for a brief second. And he's going to say, I'm going to tell you something that my uncle told me. With great power comes great responsibility. And then if Andrew Garfield's in the room, he'll say something like, my Uncle Ben told me something similar. All his Uncle Ben said was, life is about responsibility. I don't think Tom Holland ever got that message. And I feel that Marvel is setting us up for some straight up tearjerker moments for Tobey Maguire to finally deliver this cosmic message from the first Uncle Ben through this vessel, to make me cry like a baby when this happens. Because the way that the guy who played Uncle Ben for Tobey Maguire said it was beautiful. And I always wondered why they never said it again completely in the Andrew Garfield version, and they completely never said it to Tom Holland. I feel like this is a setup. This is gonna be the Rosebud moment, the Attica, the give you offer you can't refuse moment. This is gonna be an Oscar-winning moment for Tobey Maguire. With great power comes great responsibility. Now you get your ass out there, Tom Holland, and go be the best Spider-Man you can be. I just feel like that's how it's gonna happen. That's just me. Sorry, I had another geek moment. I promised I wouldn't do it. I did it again. Sorry.
I believe that's the show.
Yeah, there was no.
We can't have a third geek moment. We can't.
Can't risk it. That's the show, guys. Thank you once again for the community. You guys always entertain me with your comments, with the way. Like I said, it's always a surprise. I never know what's going to happen sometimes with the way you guys are going to vote. So I appreciate you guys indulging and participating with us whenever we post these questions out there. Sometimes we do it for the show. Sometimes we just do it for fun. And it's always interesting to see what you guys think. So next week we'll have another lineup of awesomeness. I promise not to get as geeky as I did this time. I'm Chris.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, no, I'm lying. I'm Chris Fagan. That's A.V. Newman, and we'll see you next time, guys.
If you like what you saw, make sure to subscribe to the channel and please drop a like on this video. It really does help us. Also, don't forget you can turn on notifications so you don't miss a single review, react, why is that trending, or we got your mail.